Hi, welcome to Onward Shifts podcast. I want to start by saying thank you to those that have tuned in weekly and supported us on this journey. I genuinely appreciate it, so thank you so much. And for those who have tuned into for the very first time, welcome aboard. I hope everyone takes something positive away from this experience, and let's get straight into it. So, I've been thinking quite a bit of what to talk about on this podcast because a few good ideas have popped up, but one has stuck out the most. And I reckon the reason is that I was talking to someone at an event not too long ago, and they kind of said to me, momentum, and momentum is what we'll be talking about today, has a negative effect on people. And I was completely taken back by that. I couldn't believe someone would say that. And the more we spoke about it and the more I understood that person, it does. It actually does have a negative effect. But there's a key point here which we all have to remember. That negative effect only comes out if we're off balance, if we're feeling overwhelmed. So rather than focusing on the negatives, I want to talk about the positives of momentum today and how we can kind of stay away from the negative. So, I don't know if any of yous have ridden a motorbike or a bicycle. Now, we all know if we look to the left or we look to the right, we start going into that direction. However, if we continue to look forward, we will continue to go forward. Now, I love that because just like riding a motorbike or a bicycle, we do have to continue to look forward in life as well. Because if we sway too far either side of it, we could become off balance. So I really think it's interesting how, we wake up in the morning, before social media, we would, just jump out of bed and get on with our days. But now that social media has come into such a huge play in majority of our lives, I know I'm one of those, actually I should say was one of those, who would wake up, get out, and not get out of bed. I would rather sit on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn and just see what's going on. And it kind of sometimes would go on for more than 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. On the weekend, I could really go down a rabbit hole and, you know, start by watching one DIY video. The next thing you know, I'll be watching a video on, I don't know, how to build a shed. It's gone from how to repair a skating board to how to build, I don't know. I love building things. So my whole feed is covered with DIY, 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 puppies, puppies, puppies. Probably because we have a puppy, me and my partner. So it's so easily consumes our life. And I've realised over the last few months, I've personally stopped jumping on like Facebook or whatever other social media, and I've focused more on just getting out of bed, starting that momentum. Now, some of you may remember from my previous podcast, I said that exercise is quite hard. For me personally, I can't just go off and go, I'm going to go to the gym and spend 2 hours there pumping weights and running on a treadmill or cross trainer or doing 20 minutes of rowing or whatever. I physically, I just don't enjoy it. I don't like it. Also, it's overwhelming. So what I said to myself was, I'm going to wake up in the morning, jump out of bed and do 20 push-ups. I did that for the whole of last month. And this month, I've actually managed to wake up and do 3 sets of 20 push-ups. So that's 60 push-ups in the morning. So rather than sitting on social media, killing that momentum, I've jumped out of bed and I'm like, yep, okay, I'm going to start my day. I'm going to do 60 push-ups and I'm going to, brush my teeth, get ready, have a bit of breakfast, and bang, my day has begun. It's that moment. And what I've realized is that momentum of, waking up, getting out of bed, doing that, and then moving forward has massively impacted my day. I'm no longer going down rabbit holes on social media and comparing my life to others. And, that I've always had this thing of I really want to, wake up at 5 a.m., but I don't think I can do that. Like, other than if it was for a night shift or, shift work back in the day, I don't think I can wake up at 5 a.m. anymore. I go to sleep too late. So my balance is off. But, you sit on social media and you're like, oh, these people have been up since 5 a.m. All that negativity is completely gone now. I wake up at 6 a.m. or, smash out the push-ups and really get on with my day. And I've found that momentum has really helped me finish my first morning tasks because quite frankly, I'm buzzing. I'm like, yes, today's going to be a great day. And, things just go so much smoother. Now, like the motorbike and, analogy, or I don't know if it's a motivational quote, I'm not sure. You have to continue to look forward, right? And momentum plays a humongous part in that for me. And it always starts with the small steps. For me personally, I look at life and I go like, okay, I'm going to have a 2-year goal, a 5-year goal, and a 10-year goal. And I think they're really important. I call the 10-year goal the moon goal. But because although it exists, it's going to take a while for me to get there. But it's something that I look forward to getting to. So I always find that when I'm feeling a bit demotivated, and all these goals are a bit too far and the momentum starts slipping away, I go back to I go back to one quote that I've actually got printed on my wall, and that is, remember why you started. So those days where you're a bit like, oh man, life is hard, this task I'm doing is really, really difficult or boring, and it's one of those where it's just holding you back from doing all the other things you really, really want to get on with, like the fun and the exciting stuff. You have to do this one thing or two things before you can get started on the fun stuff. I always remind myself why I got started. What's the point of Onward Shift? And for those who don't know, it's I want to help as many people in as many different ways as possible. That's my reason of starting Onward Shift. So to build that momentum up, just take yourself back to the beginning. Those small steps, remind yourself, well, what's the point of me doing this? And that will hopefully boost your morale and kind of go, okay, cool. Well, now I remember why I'm doing it. Maybe if I start breaking this awkward task down into smaller sections, maybe it could be a small section like, okay, let me open the laptop. Let me open that email. Or let me at least start writing a couple of bits to this blog or whatever you're doing. And then all of a sudden, the momentum kicks in and you can kind of flow with it a bit better and you can move on to those, more fun, quirky jobs that you're looking forward to. Now, I did start this podcast by saying there is a negative to momentum. And I do want to touch on that quickly, because I think it's really important to always have the balance of seeing the positives and the negatives of everything. So the positives are, have you ever felt a little bit stressed to do something, but not so stressed that it's becoming overwhelming? That stress where you're like, oh, I'm really excited to do this job. I'm really excited to do this project. I'm really excited to do, go out for this networking event or meeting with family or whatever it is. And you feel these little butterflies and you're like, oh, I'm a bit anxious of it, but I'm also really, really excited about it. Now, for me, that's cool. For me, that's fine. But those times where you're like, I can't take it no more. This is becoming really, really difficult. This is kind of taking a toll on my mental health. I'm not sleeping. I've lost my, routine of eating good or working out or going for walks or spending time with family. At that stage, the momentum has taken you too far for it to be comfortable. And when I say comfortable, I mean that, that small bit of stress you had when you're excited. Because I still think you're out of your comfort zone, but you're comfortable in that uncomfortable environment. And I spoke about that on one of my first podcasts. But if you are at that stage of it is overwhelming, please just take a break. Like, a manager once taught me when I was working many, many, many years ago as a maintenance engineer. And she said, Vish, your to-do list will continue to be there tomorrow and the day after and the day after that, and the one thing it will do is always grow. And it's so true. Have you ever found that you start a to-do list and it's got like 5 or 6 things in it on a Monday, and by Friday you've somehow managed to add about another 20 things on? The work will always be there, but if you're feeling overwhelmed and everything's going to become a right challenge, just take a step back. Have some time to yourself. I know for a fact that yesterday was one of the few Saturdays I actually didn't work in months. I just done some gardening. Honestly, no word of a lie. I just got the lawnmower out. I've done a bit of gardening, pulled out the weeds, and really just took my puppy for a nice walk, and just really chilled out. And I feel really, really good today, just by taking a day off, taking a step back, not being overwhelmed. I feel like I've got I feel really excited again. So it's so important to know that momentum can lead you to being overwhelmed. So just be mindful of that. And if you're ever in that position, just remember it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to just relax a little bit and have some you time and chill out and relax and spend time with your friends and family, or just go for a walk. Whatever you enjoy doing, make sure you do it, because these things will keep the momentum alive for much, much, much longer. As I said, always start with the small steps. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take that step back and just don't go in head on the next day. Just take a small step and then gradually let the momentum kick back in and get you rolling. Actually, funnily enough, there's another saying, by the way, for those who listen, you know this already, but for those who don't, I am terrible at remembering sayings and motivational quotes, but I do try. I'm definitely a trier. But have you ever been in a broken down car and then you need to push it to, get it off the road or whatever? It's that initial push that is really, really hard, right? But then once the wheels start moving, it becomes fairly easy. You can kind of push it by yourself if you're capable to do that. So that's momentum for me. It's the initial push is hard, so take small steps. And once the momentum is there, go for it. Have fun with it. But once you get to the stage of overwhelm, remember to take a step back and have some you time and chill out. Maybe watch a movie. I love watching movies. In fact, I'm recently watching a movie called Me Time it's got Kevin Hart and what's that other guy in it? He does that teddy bear film, Ted. I can't remember his name, but it's absolutely hilarious. It's definitely cracks me up a bit. If you've seen it, then you know what I mean. If you haven't seen it, then you might as well check it out. If you've got a few hours spare, it'll definitely give you a couple of giggles. But no, it's really important to understand that. But also, definitely enjoy what you're doing. And once you've got that momentum, try and maintain it. Maintenance is so key. Maintenance and balance are used quite, they're both similar words for me personally. So once you got it, keep it. And remember, if you've got the moon goal and the medium goal and the short goal, you will achieve everything if you just continue to keep that momentum at a steady pace. You don't need to rush. I said this quite a few times. I've said, everything in life it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So take your time. You will get to where you need to get to. Just remember to take breaks and keep that momentum at a balanced state. You'll be fine. Honestly, that's sort of the conversation I've had with this other person the other day, and I thought we both walked away from that conversation really enlightened. I definitely learned some new stuff, and I think that person also took some stuff on board, and is having these difficult conversations that I personally feel, we learn and we absorb information, and it's hopefully helped me for sure. But yeah, I think that's one of the things about podcasting and talking in general and communicating and having difficult conversations with people. You learn something all the time, and I absolutely love it. I don't know about yourself, but I love learning new things. I love taking on new challenges. I love hearing other people's opinions, and I love being challenged, because if I'm not challenged, I'll never grow. I'll never learn. I'll never, you know, understand other people's way of thinking. And I know for a fact I'm not always right. In fact, I'm not right often. It's usually having awkward conversations with new people. I learn and learn and learn, and that helps me grow. So I hope this podcast has helped you grow from, because that's the whole point of me doing this is to, you know, have a good time, but also help as many people as possible. Now, a lot of people won't know this about Onward Shift, but we're not just a podcasting platform. We're a new startup company in mental health, and we offer different services. And I'd love to spend a couple of, maybe 30 seconds or so talking about it. We have coaching in 6 different divisions, and those divisions are business, career, ADHD, life, relationship, and nutrition. We have 12 accountability groups from weekly cleaning to daily fitness. And we also have these weekly podcasts. And soon we are going to have some incredible guests which are lined up. So I can't wait to have those conversations with those incredible people. We've also got weekly events in Colchester, but they will expand hopefully over UK. And we've also got a few products, and blogs as well. So if you're interested in a bit of bedtime reading, then check out our blogs. I was going to say the podcast. The website is www.onwardshift.com. And please, 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 if you feel like this podcast can improve in any way, let me know, because the only way I'm going to get better is if people tell me what I'm doing wrong. And if you've enjoyed it, I'm not gonna knock a compliment. So, either way, please do let me know your thoughts on it. You can ping us an email at journey@onwardshift.com. But I'm gonna end this podcast and say, I guess give a little bit of homework. I haven't given a bit of homework in ages now, but I want you to remember, when momentum isn't going right for you and you're feeling overwhelmed, you know what to do. You know that you need to take a step back. But also, I want you to remember just this one sentence. It's only 4 words, but it's try, try, try again. It's really important that when you are feeling overwhelmed and you do need to take a step back, that's okay. You may not understand, your body may not be comfortable with taking a step back. It may find it really challenging, it may find it really difficult, but don't be too stressed if you don't kind of get it the first time. Keep trying to then take them regular breaks. Keep trying to, put systems in place for your lifestyle to have breaks on a regular basis to prevent being overwhelmed, but also to really, really keep that momentum at such a good level that you just live. I hope you have really, truly enjoyed this podcast. And I want to say thank you so much for everyone that's tuned in. And please do leave us feedback.